Let's talk Giants. There's a lot to talk about here. Maybe not so much, but we haven't talked about them in a while. Pro Football Focus. Pro Football Focus, which we all have our opinions about PFF. We can either use it to support our argument or we can shit all over them for being completely wrong. This one, it's been getting a lot of traction. It came out a while ago, but PFF tweeted out that none of the Giants' impending free agents were key pieces for the team in 2019. That hurts. Especially when you think about what we should do with Marcus Golden. You know, he's an impending free agent. He had some like 10 plus sacks, most since I guess it would be LT. And now it's like he wasn't a key piece for us in 2019. Pretty sure. I know Big Blue Vu. Oh, come on, Neal. Come on. Get your mouth to act right. Big Blue View had a film study where they asked if Marcus Golden is worth a top tier pass rusher money. You know what? I used to side on yes, he is. And yeah, I'm starting to think no. I'm starting to think no. Is there a TLDR? I mean, this is a long ass post. Final thoughts. Golden is a good pass rusher in the NFL. He has multiple moves, can bend through contact while showing solid ankle and hip flexion. And he possesses solid power and very strong hands at the point of attack. He ranks 100th in rushing defense according to PFF. Oof. But yeah, ultimately you can't justify paying Golden a contract that he may have played himself into. He's not a number one pass rusher, which I agree with. He's more of a number two. And as they say, BBV says he's similar to what Arizona had in Chandler Jones and Calais Campbell in 16. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be like devastated or severely saddened if he left and signed somewhere else. I think he was a nice, pleasant surprise for us. I'm not sure what he would have needed to do in order to get that top pass rusher money. I mean, maybe 16 sacks. I mean, if once he gets above 15, then you got to start thinking, okay. I mean, if he's averaging almost a sack per game, that's hard to ignore. But yeah. Bon voyage. I think there's better players to be had for that money, which stinks because it was nice to see him have such a great season and emerge from it. How about Dave Tollison saying that he was not a fan of Jerry Reese and Mark Ross? I mean, I think that might be the first, and I could be wrong about that, but the first player from that era that came out and said, nah, Reese and Ross, not where it's at. Some speculation that the Giants might sign Devin McCourty because he's from Jersey, went to Rutgers, knows Joe Judge well. Obviously he would probably be the defensive captain, could bring some experience and some, just a culture of winning to the unit. He is 32 years old. So who knows how many years he has left. I don't know that Bethea was like 35 and you could just see that he's not what he was. So I don't know. Do you sign him for 4 years knowing that you probably get 2 good ones? Is that worth it? I mean, at this point, I think, Gettleman's so desperate. And I think Mara is desperate as well, so that they're probably in win now mentality. I mean, they've been so like averse to saying they're in rebuild mode. They tried to rebuild by also winning that I think it's now they got to push all their chips in the middle of the table. Shout out Jim Fossil. Leonard Williams could seek $15 million a year from the Giants. I think this report kind of got out of hand because I don't think he is looking for $15 million a year. Is he worth $10 million a year? It's all about them sacks, baby. What do the Giants lack most on defenses? From Art Stapleton? Speed. They're devastatingly slow. Watch those defenses last night, referencing the Chiefs and Niners. That's why, and he says that's why Isaiah Simmons is so intriguing. Must be a point of emphasis this offseason. I've seen the gamut of opinions on fucking Isaiah Simmons. The most recent one I saw that was kind of like baffled me was like, I think the fact that he doesn't have that he plays so many positions is a detriment to who he is and what he can do in the NFL. Okay, dude. It's from a person that I generally agree with on a lot of things and respect. And I was just like, that's the take you're going with? Is it because everyone is so like gung-ho about him, but now you got to present this other perspective to get clicks? You do what you got to do, but holy shit, man. NJ.com posted a mock trade that involves the Giants and Chargers. Giants get 6th overall, 71st overall, and the 3rd and 21. Chargers get the 4th overall. And seeing as the Chargers and Phillip Rivers are parting ways, they need a QB. Makes sense. There are a bunch of teams now that need QBs that would probably love to be in that 4 spot. So, and then this is from WBG84. I don't know who that is, but he's popular on that. He's popping off on that Twitter. And so in that scenario, LA would get Tua, and then the Giants would get Simmons at 6. Five low-cost free agents for the Giants. This is from Big Blue View. They have Emmanuel Ogbah, who's an edge defensive end, unrestricted free agent from Kansas City. He originally played with the Browns and then made his way to the Chiefs and hasn't really been like a standout player. I know that he was kind of in the mix in 2016 for the draft that I thought might be a nice solid pick. And hasn't really put up like crazy numbers, but 6'4", 275, had tested really well at the combine, 91st percentile in 10-yard split, 40-yard dash, 83rd percentile in broad jump. So physical specimen, 19 sacks, 19 batted passes, 85 hurries, 2 seasons of 5.5 sacks. Only 26. Tajay Sharp, unrestricted free agent, wide receiver, 6'2", 194. Only played 44% of offensive snaps, but he's a good blocker, and he's only 25, and he's a solid route runner. Tavon Austin, which is you could talk to your blue in the face on Tavon Austin about how he's great and it fits, and Jason Garrett, and there's a lot of that going on where there's a lot of like Cowboys that are now available that we all just assume, oh, Jason Garrett, he can just talk them into coming over, and it's like, I don't know about that. Tavon Austin for me is a hard pass. I just don't. He's one of those guys that has been so overrated his entire career. And Tavon, if you watch this or you listen to this, and you're like, hey, you motherfucking cracker honky, understandable, But hopefully, you will sign with a team and you will do well. I wish you the best, just not with the Giants. I just don't think. Now that I'm giving it some more thought, I don't know. It's just like he's always been associated with potential and upside and blah blah, and he can do this and this, and he's so flexible, and you can run him out of so many different sets, and there's so many plays you can run with him, and it's just like, I don't know, he's good for like one cool play a game, maybe. I don't know. Safety J-Ron Curse from Minnesota, 6'4", 215. He was relegated to the third safety role behind Harrison Smith and Andrew Zendejo, Anthony Harris. Again, these are like low-cost free agents that could help be solid contributors. And then the last one is Frankie Louvu, an edge from the Jets, who is an IRFA, which the exclusive rights free agent. Yeah. Played 6% of snaps, 5 tackles, 1 sack, mostly special teams. Yeah, I feel like when sites put together lists, they always need like the one curveball. It's always like the one like Hail Mary type of player that no one at all is ever even thinking about, but they just like stumble upon and they throw together like in limited time, put up crazy number. And it's just like, no, dude, what the, like, maybe I'll be fucking eating crow, you know, in a year, but like, I don't, no, dude, no. There's nothing you're saying in this that makes me feel like this is worth pursuing. So that's that. Potential cuts. We've been talking about this for a long time, but it seems like the time has come. Free agency is right around the corner, y'all. Alec Ogletree seems like he's donezo. Rhett Ellison's donezo. Kareem Martin's donezo. And Twin Bethea's donezo. So 2 more that are to a lesser extent may go, but I don't really see it. Nate Solder, which after finding out that his kid had the health issues that he did and being able to play through that, and I know how much that must have weighed on him. Maybe the kid takes a turn for the better and that doesn't weigh on him in 2020. Gotta hope for the best, but I don't think you give up on him yet, especially considering there's just like no one out there at the left tackle position, at least in free agency, that they could sign and plug in. The hope here is that maybe there's a left tackle in the draft that kind of just is able to, but I don't see it happening. I'm not saying they shouldn't draft one, but like I just don't see them being able to draft one because it doesn't seem like they're going to go with a left tackle in the first round. But maybe you get one in the second or third, and then is that guy going to come in and start? And then you move Solder to the right tackle. I mean, that's how I see things playing out. If ideally is Solder, kind of makes his way to right tackle and becomes like a above average right tackle. And then we have the rookie at left tackle. And then we all have Eric Flowers flashbacks. And then Golden Tate. I don't know about giving up on Golden Tate just yet. It really fucking sucks what happened last year. And I think who knows where the Giants are if he actually plays the first 4 games. And then it doesn't have to knock off the rust for week 5 and 6 like he did, like he actually did. I think he brings a dynamic element to the team. Are we overpaying for him? Yeah, probably. But he's good for big plays. I mean, the guy had big plays almost every game. So, and I think it's just good to have that kind of personality in the locker room. He's not exactly Odell, but he has the flashiness and the, I think the humor to win over people. So I think you got to give him one more shot. 9 potential cap casualties that make sense for the Giants and free agency. Now, I will full on admit I have not done any research or investigation into any of these players. There are a few that I know right off the bat, and there are a few that I'm like, I need to dig a little bit deeper. Defensive lineman Marcel Darius from the Jaguars. Let's take a look at this motherfucker. All right. So, it's from Alabama. He was a first-round pick of the Bills in 2011. Third overall pick. He's 29 years old. He basically played or started in every game for the first 5 years of his career. Had a bit of a down year in 16. Split time between two teams in 17. Had a bounce back year in 18, and then in 19, only played in 6 games. So it looks like his best years are behind him. But maybe it's a great it would be a good play for depth on a defensive line. I mean, it already feels like we have a deep defensive line, but wouldn't hurt to have another one. Defensive end Everson Griffin, who had 8 sacks last season, has averaged 9.5 sacks over the last 6. I mean, would be nice to get into the rotation, but are we paying too much for him? Linebacker Mark Barron from the Steelers. Don't know a dang thing about him. Do a quick little search. Do a quick little lookup. He's 30 years old. Drafted by the Bucs in the first round. Played at Alabama. Was actually started off as a strong safety for the Bucs and then moved to linebacker. Eventually, in his later years with the Rams and then the Steelers, has not played a full season since 2016. I mean, AV approximate value according to PFR is like in the 6 to 7 range, which, I mean, for depth. I mean, that's what we're looking at here. I mean, these are guys that are going to get cut either because their salary is too high and they're not providing value for that salary, or because their best years are behind them. But it'd be nice to have them for depth. The fourth player, Leonard Floyd, the Bears. I mean, this is the guy that we wanted. One of the two guys that we wanted in the 2016 draft, 2016 draft when we picked Eli Apple. Eli Apple was not like our first pick. I think it was Floyd, then Conklin, possibly. And then we got leapfrogged by both the Bears and the Titans. The Bears got Floyd, who, from what I'm hearing, has not done like anything that special. I guess he started off hot and then he's kind of cooled off. Yeah, first round 9th pick in the 16 draft. I mean, he's played all 16 games the past 2 years. And he's got an 8 to 9 approximate value. So, not quite sure why the Bears would let him go. 12 QB hits last year. 3 sacks. Started off hot, though. 7 sacks his rookie season. So, I wouldn't mind. Why not? He's only going to be, I guess, till turn 28. Again, depth, motherfucker. Nigel Bradham. This is one. He was a former Eagle. And the last time we saw him, he was chasing after Saquon Barkley as Saquon took it to the house. MIA, take it to the house. Bradham is a former 4th rounder picked by the Bills in the 2012 draft. Looks like he's going to be 31. Only played in 12 games last year, but had an AV of around 7. Had 61 combined tackles after averaging around 90 to 100 for the previous 3 years. So, I mean, I'm a bit gun shy bringing over former Eagles after what happened with fucking, what's his name, Connor Barwin. Connor Barwin absolutely tormented the Giants for years as the Eagles backer. And then he comes over the Giants and just doesn't do shit. Safety Rashad Jones. He played with the Dolphins. He was a Pro Bowler as recently as 2017. Out of all the players on this list, I feel like Judge is compiling people from the Patriots and the Dolphins. Those are like, you know, when Betcher was around and Shermer was around and Gettleman had more power, it was like Panthers, Cardinals, Vikings. Those were like the three teams we usually plucked from. And it seems like the Dolphins are going to be the team that we pluck from now. Ugh. Did not have a great year last year. Only played in 4 games. But again, was a Pro Bowler in 15, Pro Bowler in 17. Had a decent year-ish, I guess, in 2018, but just fell off the map in 2019. He'll be 32. Wide receiver Marquise Lee. This is another guy who, like, I almost guarantee that I drafted this motherfucker every year in fantasy football, and he just never panned out. It's like as soon as I drafted him, he would get hurt, pretty much. He only started 1 game last year. Didn't play in 2018. I think his best year was in 2016. It's when the Jags went to I believe that's when the Jags went to playoffs. Yeah. So I'm kind of hesitant to bring in someone like that. Nick Easton, a center for the Saints, and then Dion Lewis, running back for the Titans. I honestly, people keep saying that we need to like solidify our running back group. I don't know what the hell happened with Wayne Gallman last year. I feel like he showed some spark. It's just like I guess he had ball control issues. So I guess you can't really depend on him. We saw a little bit of Buck Allen, and he looked okay, but that's not enough for some people. I don't see Barkley getting hurt like he did last year. I don't know. I feel like that was just a fluke. I mean, here's again, Nick Easton. Why are we even throwing this out there? He's played 3 seasons, didn't play in 2018, hasn't even started all 16 games. Like, I don't know, his backup? I don't know. And then Dion Lewis for the Titans. I just don't see how he fits. I could see it if like Barkley was more of an Otis Anderson type. Like if you want to have that Otis Anderson, Dave Meggett kind of, or Tiki Barber, Brandon Jacobs, or Ron Dane. Like you have the big burly dude who cannot catch out of the backfield, who's just a cloud of dust 3 yards, and then you have the third down back who can catch out of the backfield, make moves. Saquon is like both of those things. So I don't understand how Dion Lewis really fits into things. I mean, really well utilized in the 17 with the Pats, 1,000 total yards. And even his first year with the Titans, almost 1,000 yards total, but he just had a tremendous fall off in 2019 because I guess Variable was just like, throw that saddle on motherfucking Derrick Henry and ride that motherfucker till he breaks down. So, I mean, I'm not crazy about Dion Lewis either. So this list is kind of meh. Again, it's cap casualties. It's like the teams don't want them for one reason or another. The Lions have spoken to teams about dealing cornerback Darius Slay. And so far the Giants have not been connected, but some people have said that it would make sense because the Giants definitely need a safety and a corner. A veteran who is proven capable. That's all we're looking for here. I don't think we're looking for, people keep, Slay, I guess, would fall under the category of like a shutdown corner, I guess. I don't really put him on the same level as like like Darrelle Revis in his prime or, anyone like that, but has proven himself to be, I guess, upperish echelon of corners. He's 29 and he wants to be the highest paid corner in the NFL. which is going to be like around 15, 16 million bucks. Giants have, I think, the third worst secondary in the NFL. PFF has said that Slay is the fifth best corner in the league since 2014. That's great and all, but I don't know that we should pursue that. I'm a bit gun shy after we went after Janoris Jenkins, signed him, and he had one stellar year and then kind of like 3 years, 3 kind of uneven and consistent years. It's like, do we do the same with Slay where like we sign him, he comes in, has an amazing year, and then it's the fall off? So I don't know. And now I'm hearing that Byron Jones, the Cowboys corner, is looking for that range as well, 16 mil per year. I don't think we need that, and I don't think we want that. I'm fine with a corner for half that price that can just suit up and not give up big plays. That's essentially what I'm looking for now. I think that money can be better spread around. Let's spread the wealth. Let's evenly distribute the money we have into players that have experience and that are average to above average. Not elite, but just like players that can identify a crossing pattern and can call it out and can defend it. That's all we're looking for here. And then Chiefs wide receiver Demarcus Robinson is a potential target in free agency for the Giants. I've seen this dude's name being thrown around, and I almost feel like, if memory serves me correctly, he's kind of like in the same vein as Tyreek Hill. But I also think I might be thinking about someone else. He's only 25, 4th round draft pick for the Chiefs. He's suited up for every single game in his 4-year career. But nothing that really jumps out at you when you look at his stats. I mean, he's a big play receiver. Averages, I was looking at the wrong freaking category. Great job, Neal. Great job. I mean, he did have his best year of his career. He didn't do anything his rookie year. And then he had his quote-unquote best year last year. I mean, 14 yards of reception. Wouldn't mind that. And I think he would be able to help in the return game, which we need. We desperately need help with there. So, all depends on what he's asking for. Let's take a quick visit to SpotTrack.com. SpotTrack.com, your source for all contracts. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Demarcus Robinson. Let's see what this guy's his market value is. Which everyone sees that market value, and then they bid that, and then he ends up getting something more. There is no market value. Sweet. Yeah, I don't know. He's only gonna be 25. I'm not like that down on a receiving core. Yes, I get that Sterling Shepard is now a concern. You can't really depend on him for a full season. I think that they would be wise to move Evan Engram to the receiver position, so you got some support there. Corey Coleman should be back and fully rested from his ACL. Hopefully that didn't take too much out of his speed and agility and quickness. You got Golden Tate. You got Darius Slayton. So I'm not too concerned about the receiver position, although we are missing, and maybe Evan Engram is that big body that we've missed ever since Plaxico. So maybe that's the case. I'm just looking at my Twitter. Let's take a quick look. Let's do a quick rundown of Twitter bookmarks. So we mentioned McCourty. I think that's a decent pickup. like I mentioned, Isaiah Simmons seemed to be the consensus pick for the Giants at 4. Even if they trade down to 6, he still should be available. Now, Mel Kiper is saying that the Giants will select cornerback Jeff Okudah at 4th overall. I guess he's a Ohio State Buckeye. Just the mere thought of drafting another Ohio State corner that high kind of gives me the chills. I get Eli Apple flashbacks, so I don't know how I'm probably out on that, and maybe I'll live to eat my words, but like I'm out on that. I think you got to sign a veteran corner and a veteran safety, guys that have played in the league for a few years, 4 to 5 years, and are ready to make the next step and become a leader in the secondary. I think that's the route. That the route is not drafting more corners for sure. Definitely not it. So yeah, I think that's that. I don't know if I have anything else. Oh, Pat Shermer and Mike Shula are signing up with the Broncos to, I guess, shepherd Drew Lock on his next step to the NFL Hall of Fame. Vincent Rappisardi, probably mispronouncing that. Giants only ran the ball 38 times on RPO styled plays. That was the league average. The Ravens led the league with 186 RPO rushes, and that's just bad play calling, because when you have someone like Daniel Jones and you have someone Saquon Barkley, that's a dual threat to run. Why not utilize that? So I can completely understand that sentiment. We need to utilize the RPO way more. Alex Wilson tweets, can we just take a second to appreciate Daniel Jones? This guy had 3 games with 4 or more touchdown passes last season. Mind you, he played in only 12 full games. He was a rookie. Alleviate the fumble concerns, and the Giants are in good shape. And I cannot heart that any harder. So I think the Giants are in a good spot. It all depends on how they spend their money. Hopefully, don't blow their wad on one player. Spread the wealth. Address their need positions in the draft. I'm fully on board with Isaiah Simmons, and then you really got to address the offensive line, and then hopefully in free agency you pick up a veteran corner, veteran safety, maybe even a not not a top pass rusher, but someone that can get you maybe similar numbers to what Marcus Golden gave you last year. And then, we should be all set. Offensive line, I think our defensive line is just about there, but it's really the offensive line shoring up the secondary. And we're golden, baby. Good to go. So that's the show. Another monster effort. A lot going on. Thanks for staying around. If you did, check me out on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, where I don't post at all, ever. Real cinch. And call the hotline 862-BIT-1986. And until next time, adios, muchachos.